better game, however.
As an amateur, he qualified for 3 U.S. Opens and 2 Masters by the time he was 20 years old. In 1981 and 82, his first full years on the Pro Tour, at the ages of 21 and 22, Clampett won more than $180,000 each year, placed among the top 20 money winners each year, finished in the top 10 in 15 tournaments, came in 3rd in the 1982 U.S. Open, led the British Open that year for 3 rounds after starting with a 67 and a 66, and a few months later, won the Southern Open.
And now let's meet the gentleman who will be reporting the action in today's final round.
Hi, I'm Bobby Clampett, and I'll be covering the action from the 15th hole, a 300...
I'm television golf broadcaster and PGA Touring professional Bobby Clampett, and welcome to my home here in Cary, North Carolina. I want to tell you a little bit today about the new company, McHenry Metals. It's just begun under the leadership of Gary Adams. Now, Gary, you've probably heard of because he's been around the golf equipment business for over 20 years. In fact, my relationship with Gary began back in the early 80s when he had started TaylorMade Golf Company. TaylorMade, you remember those guys? They were the ones that came out with that metal wood, that funny looking thing that people weren't too sure about. I had an opportunity to use this club early in my professional career, and it really helped me. In fact, I can think back to the 1981 Buick Open. I used this club in the playoff. It was the first time a metal wood had ever been used on national television. That helped me improve my game, and the vision of McHenry Metals is going to improve your game as well. Let me take you back a few moments in time to the days of TaylorMade and the new clubs. Look familiar? I remember when I was first given this club and I started to hit it, it had an unusual feel to it. The feel was kind of hard, and that took a little getting used to. But what I did like about the club was I could hit it longer and straighter. This was a club that had 12 degrees loft. It said 1 wood on the bottom, but it was more like a 2 wood, strong 3 wood, so you could hit it off the fairway, and with the low center of gravity, you could even hit it out of pretty tight lies. So that fairway wood shot that I used on the 16th hole at Warwick Hills at the playoff for the Buick Open in '81 was off a pretty tight lie, and I put it right up in front of the green. I failed to make that 10-foot putt, which could have won the tournament. Wish TaylorMade made a putter back then. Anyway, we went from the 12 degree to the strong one, which was 10 degrees, same shallow faced. And then TaylorMade produced this shallow faced 3 wood, 13 degrees loft. And then TaylorMade started a series of drivers. This was the 9.5 degree driver that I particularly used for quite some time. And from that gravitated an improved burner driver. This came in 2 different lofts, a 9.5 degree and then a 7 degree. This driver right here was one that players were hitting off the planet. So TaylorMade was sold. It was doing so well, Gary Adams sold it to Solomon, and he started a new company called Founders Club. Let's see what they had to offer. Gary Adams' quest for the perfect club evolved into this Founders Club fresh metal driver. It came in a 9 degree loft, also in a 10.5, and they redistributed the weight around in this club, and the players found that they could hit that hot trajectory, the one where the ball carried far and also ran once it hit. This was my favorite club for quite some time. And then came the titanium. Founders Club was remarked as the innovator of the titanium and brought it to the PGA Tour for the first time. The club was larger sized and was more of a game improvement type of club where off-center hits still went a little further. This club was also a lot longer, 44.5 inches long, and the players found that with the titanium, the ball flew off the club faster and hotter, and with the longer shaft, they were hitting the ball even further. And then came McHenry Metal. So the heritage of the metal wood continues now in the form of McHenry Metals, a startup company with 18 years of experience, from TaylorMade to Founders Club, and now to the Tour Pure Driver, 235 cc's, titanium, innovative features with the tungsten copper backing, putting the mass of the club right where you want it, behind the ball, behind the sweet spot. Also compression matching, starting out with a 7.5 degree lofted club, that's for the advanced player, That's the one you'll probably see winning major championships in '98. But they also have some clubs matched for the average golfer. The 9.5 degree, that's the 90 compression. And then comes the 80 compression driver. That's specifically for the senior players, and even the 70 compression driver for the ladies. Built-in features to improve everybody's games. Go for the Tour Pure driver, you'll like it.